It's time for Speechcraft Fundamentals 8. You ever notice how the number 8 looks like a snowman? Well, that's kind of fitting because snowmen have become a symbol of Christmas. When you start to see snowmen appearing in artwork, decorations, TV commercials, you know the year is winding down. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit more about winding down. Last time we talked about how the Q&A of your speech is the beginning of the end. Today you're going to learn where to go from there. There's an old adage in technical writing that could also be applied to speaking, and it goes a little something like this. First, tell them what you're going to tell them. Second, tell them. Third, tell them what you just told them. Now, if you have a long presentation, it becomes more important to tell them what you just told them, to sum up, as it were. That may not be a really big revelation to you, but what you may not know is that there are multiple ways you can sum up. The most basic way to sum up your speech is to repeat your outline. So, the 3 keys to speaking success are, and then you list them again. That works fine. It's a classic, and there's nothing wrong with keeping it simple. Hey, sometimes that's the best option. However, there are other times when you have other options. A second way to sum up is to get your audience to tell you what you told them in a controlled way. This builds a little bit of audience participation into your presentation, which is great, and it reassures you that your audience got what you told them. Perhaps an illustration. In my storytelling workshop, Tell a Story, Make a Point, the structure is the 5 C's of storytelling, and I get my audience to sum this up with a little bit of a call and response session using fill-in-the-blank questions. I say, one more time, the 5 C's of storytelling. First of all, you need a set of compelling and contributing what? And they all yell, characters. Characters, right. As soon as possible, you need to throw at least one of those characters into some sort of escalating what? And they yell out, conflict. We go on like this. This is how I get the audience to sum up for me in a controlled way. The third way to sum up is actually my favorite way, but it's also the most risky. However, if you can tell your audience is really engaged and you have the time to do it, get your audience to sum up your speech for you in an uncontrolled way. Here's how you do that. You ask them an open-ended question that makes them think about everything you told them already. As in, I want you to come up with one example of something you learned from my presentation that you can put into effect immediately. Now that can go horribly, horribly wrong if there's a long, awkward silence before anybody speaks. Or if nobody speaks at all. Here's how you overcome that hurdle. You grease the wheels a little bit. I want you to get into groups of 2 or 3 with the people around you, and I want you to come up with one thing you learned from my presentation that you can put into effect immediately. Groups of 2 or 3, one thing you learned that you can put into effect immediately. All right. Then you monitor the discussion for a while, you see when it dies down, then you bring the audience back and you say, okay, one thing you learned that you can put into effect immediately, go. I heard some great discussions over there, what have you got? That's how you can get the audience to sum up for you in an uncontrolled way. Just make sure you grease the wheels first. Those are 3 ways you can sum up your speech. You can tell your audience what you told them, you can get your audience to tell you what you told them in a controlled way, or you can get your audience to tell you what you told them in an uncontrolled way. Just make sure you grease the wheels first. After you sum up, you're ready to move on to your big ending. How do you write a big ending? You'll get that in the next video. So keep it tuned here to lastwrites.com for more speaking tips. That's last-writes.com. And together we, that's you and I, we will lay boring speeches to rest by giving them the last rites.